Okay, next thing would be content inspection and malware detection. Okay, two things that you need to know about for the exam as well. Content inspection is going to be a content filtering that's available. Some web browsers, some are better than others, obviously, but it inspects the content and can block. Okay, so rather than just looking at the URL, which might not be identified if malicious, by the way. Okay, if it's a new threat, it may not be added to some type of URL blocking software. It may not be on a block list yet. So by content filtering, it can block a website just basically based upon the content that's in the website. All right, so you can kind of block by category, so to speak, or if you want to, like, say, for instance, hate crimes or guns or gambling or things along those lines, it can identify that as matching that criteria and block it before it's displayed. And then we have malware detection. Malware, as you may or may not be aware, is very easy to get and is very hard to get rid of, especially if it's a well done piece of malware. 9 times out of 10, that malware, you'll visit a malicious website, or you may visit a legitimate website that's been hacked. You'll download a tiny kind of a carrier piece of malware, and it's very small, downloads very quickly, but then its main job is to then go out to the internet and download other pieces of malware. All right, so if you've ever had like the coupon sites or the shopping sites or the shopping adware and spyware, malware pop up on your system, all of a sudden you'll notice that your system comes to a screeching halt. You can't really get anywhere. So it goes from ranging from just being a nuisance to there's a new type of malware called ransomware, where it will encrypt your computer and then threaten you with, unless you pay X number of dollars to get the decryption key, your system is basically useless. So it really kind of runs the gamut from being more of a nuisance to a complete shutdown of your system. All right, so malware, the best defense against it, obviously, is not to get infected. It goes without saying, kind of a no-brainer. But malware can be very difficult to disinfect. And as I said, it often downloads other programs once it's infected. So there are some detection software that's available. Some are free, some are pay. The free ones I've had actually very good luck with. Microsoft Security Essentials or Malwarebytes. There's a company called or a website rather called malwarebytes.org. Those two free tools work very well. They actually can detect malware before it gets onto your system, and it can also scan your system and clean malware that's already there. So I would highly recommend one of those two products first before you go out and look at any type of pay malware detection and prevention programs. And then lastly, we have application-aware devices. Application-aware devices is a device that can respond to traffic based upon what is there. Right? So what does that mean? Well, it can respond differently depending upon the type of traffic that it encounters. And it will typically combine SNMP, or Simple Network Management Protocol, and some type of QoS, or quality of service. It will combine those, and it will prioritize traffic based upon the importance of that traffic or the value of the content. All right, so it basically can give higher priority to certain types of traffic. And additionally, application-aware devices can be added to other devices, whether it be firewalls, IPS, IDS systems, proxies, etc., etc. So it can allow, in other words, as an example might be, I want to allow video traffic to have a higher priority than just web surfing, because if I drop packets when I'm browsing a website, it doesn't really affect my experience very much. But if I'm dropping packets when I'm trying to stream some video, I'll start to get stuttering and jittering or jitter through that connection, and that's very problematic. So by placing a higher priority or a higher quality of service on that video traffic, then it's going to obviously improve the end user experience, and that type of traffic is deemed more important or more valuable, so it's going to be given a higher priority.